I think, after finagling with this for a while, and OBS and everything else deciding it wanted to update, I think we're good to go. Okay. Let's go over here. We're gonna carry over pretty much everything. Enemy strength. We'll go hard. Why not? Hard sounds fun. And let's begin. It's probably one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too. And Cher's gone traveling around the kingdom for some kind of training. I'm so bored. I'll just practice with my staff a bit before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Daddy! Sorry to keep you waiting, Estelle. Take good care of the house while I was away? Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope. I'm as fit as a fiddle. That reminds me, though. I brought you a present. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Yeah, I raised you wrong, Estelle. Our little girl's supposed to like clothes and jewelry. I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. Now why don't you come and have a look? What? Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? What? Why is my present a boy? Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? Looks kinda dead if you ask me. I've treated his wounds and he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, you need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed. If you wouldn't mind heating up a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. Sure sounds sleeps soundly. Sounds like the same age as me. The first time I've seen a black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair. And a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all. How about you come clean and fess up? Fess up? Yeah. Who's this kid anyway? Why is he hurt? Why'd you bring him to our house? Is he a illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mommy? Where have you been picking up these kind of words? No doubt from Charizard, I assume. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake. Girl's gonna get me into trouble with all the, one of these $6 nonsense. Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Actually, I met this boy while I was out on business. And I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. Where am I? So you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. Be safe here. Just please try to rest. Braces business? I'm assuming you mean bracer business? What are you trying to pull? Huh? Must be out of your mind. Like, why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why? That's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just worked out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. You have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey! You're sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is gonna make it take longer for your body to heal. You're welcome to my home, get out of my bed. Pretty much. And just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember telling you that I have a daughter your age? Now that you mention it. Wait a minute, don't try to change this up. Ow! Quit yelling! Alright already. You jumping on me like that is not gonna make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just gonna make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind. Just forget it. As a word of advice, it'd be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh? Your name. You know, that thing that people call you? I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? Seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... And fade to black. God, I love this game, it's so good. Sorry about that. I don't like talking during cutscenes, so I try to, like, not, just because I feel like it could ruin the scene a little bit. Is this like Trigger? It's, I mean, it's a JRPG. It's a, it's... I don't even know what to compare it to, because it's its own, like, series of games that just, like... So, The Legend of Heroes has, like, 11 different games. Well, actually, I think it even has more than that. But it's, like, an anthology of games that are all set in, like, the same world. And this is, like, the start of, like, this era. And it's really good. I can't even begin to describe, like, some of the plot that happens later. I mean, it's kind of like Chrono Trigger, as it's just a JRPG, but that's kind of like saying Final Fantasy is like Chrono Trigger. It's kind of. It's so bright in here. I slept like a rock. Means it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. What if it means Joshua's still in bed? Guess it's a no. Well, I guess I better get myself ready then, too. Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. Can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind. That siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. What do you mean, woman? You're the same age, and I'm hardly a man. That's where you're wrong, Joshua. You may be the same age, but I'm clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a little tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, somehow wistful. I like the other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. Really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right, because my problem is that I just don't do something that uses my whole body. I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? Your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl is going to be impressed with just that. Excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Oh, I feel I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? I'll believe it when I start finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Stell, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry down before it gets cold? Okay. I'm on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? People say kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Make sure you get enough to eat. Don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be reviewing everything we've learned up to this point. And once we finish, we'll be bracers just like you, Dad. It means I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore, either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. In other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you, too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning in training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap. Totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or another. I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sleeve. Oh, but it's sad. How could any child of mine end up with a careless, over-optimistic personality? Hey, you're the one who raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, you two are so much alike. But Whatever. Should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Cher's gonna be waiting for this. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Rouen-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomachs. You're right. I wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy. Do try to make something edible. How rude. I can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the local general goods store. I'm supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One copy of Liberal News from the general goods store. Received 500 Mira. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Scheherazade my regards. Okay, so first things first, it's been a long time since I've played this game, so okay, that's how I spin my camera. Great. Okay, here we go. So I am cheating a little bit. I will admit, I am kind of New Games Plusing this. So I already have all my equipment from when I last played this game. So we're just gonna put the best equipment I have. Let's see here. There's a couple items I know that I want. The first one should be one that protects us against all ailments. Yep, that's one. And then the other one I want is auto CP up or CP up by 2%. Both of these aren't terrible, so I'm gonna actually take the Gladiator belt. And we're gonna do the same thing with Joshua. I'm gonna give him his best equipment. It's gonna make the game really easy, but I'm playing this for the story, not so much not so much caring about the difficulty of the game. Yep, there we go. That'll make things nice and easy for us. This is one of those RPGs where the gameplay's alright, but we're here for story. We don't need to struggle. How do I run again? Cheater. Okay, it's all. Okay. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But it's that or grind for hours, and I'd rather not do that. So right now, all we have to do is go into the main city. Don't get me wrong. Like, when I get to some of the other games of this series, I've not played those ones, so I have to do a fresh start on them. But I played these first two, and I love them. It's gonna be a good time. Not too early or too late either. We barely graduated from Sunday school. Never dreamed of the study sword to become bracers. But you're in luck. Today's the last day of our training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you expect to get away with any less effort. Yeah, I guess I did. Alright then, let's get to it and make it to the last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet Shara at the Bracers Guild over there. Okay. Now, I could try to go in a good store, but I don't know if I can buy the newspaper yet that our father wants. Morning, Mr. Renan. Oh, hello, Estelle and Joshua. You're up rather early today. Did you come by to pick a new pair of shoes? Now that you mention it, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the newest Stregas? Unbelievable. We've actually forgotten why we came here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to be buying a Liberal News for Dad, right? Of course. You've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid the new Stregas aren't out yet. If you're after the latest issue of Liberal News, no, I'll have them in around noon. It's right in the middle of our training at the guild house. We'll stop by again after our training is over. Sure, I'll be waiting for you. See, the interesting thing about this game is as you play, time kind of advances, and there's certain checkpoints where, like, the other characters in town have their own little stories that are going on that you just don't necessarily have to pay attention to. Whether it's a wonderful and revitalizing day, I have the strange feeling that something good is going to happen. But every once in a while, as you play the game, There's these like little side stories that will like develop as you play. And I think one of the things I'm gonna do here is we're gonna go talk to, is it you? There's a notebook sitting on top of the table. I'm a bracer. I have been in a small rural town, maintaining peace in the region is what a job is all about. Today I received some job requests from a few clients, so I set off to where duty called. My first job was to milk some cows on a farm nearby. The next would help turn over some fields. Who was anyone kidding? This kind of job was a cinch when it came to my skill with a pitchfork. For my last job of the day, I was to babysit. At first I thought about watching a bunch of kids would be easy, but it turned out I was wrong. Dead wrong. To my dismay, there are 7 whiny kids in the house. For a professional like myself, 7 kids are a bit much, but I am a bracer and I will do my duty. I got to work and cradled the ones who wouldn't stop crying, changed their messy diapers, broke some fights over toys, and even managed to do a ton of small jobs around my client's house, like washing the laundry, cleaning up and taking their dog for a walk. Even when I got hungry, I felt like I had no more energy to go on. I did not forget my duty to report to the guild. I gave up, what a loser I'd be in front of everyone. After going through all this and arriving at the guild, some other bracers in the office stared at me in amazement. That's right, you guessed it. I'm famous for being the bracer in this town. The bracers paying attention to me is what I have to deal with every day. Probably all just jealous of my superior skills. Anyway, where were we? Okay, I remember now. So I was on my way to report to the receptionist when somebody grabbed me by the collar from behind. Turning around, I realized it was someone more scary than any monster alive. It was my dad. After thwacking me at a good one on the head, he yelled at me so loud that everyone could hear. You think you could run off and play bracer every day without bothering to help your mother around the house, huh? And that my dad dragged me all the way home and then lectured me until who knows when. I didn't do anything wrong either. Seriously, what the heck? I'm a self-appointed bracer. Today I'm off again to maintain peace in the region and solve whatever problems need to solve me with the rest of my clients. That boy, where could have Luke have gone? Took off without a bite of breakfast. Okay, there's one guy in here. Okay, I think this is the guy. Glory of the Kingdom, Compendium of Orbit Technology, Guide to Roland Region, the Septium Church, and the Bracer Guild. I wonder where that book I just bought the other day went. So I'm gonna put these books in order. Okay, we have to come back and talk to this guy, because there's kind of like a hidden side quest that we have to be mindful of. Okay, so for right now, let's go to the Bracer Guild, which I believe is this red building over here. Ba-ba. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. Okay. The Star and the Hangman. The Hermit and the Magician. And last of all, an inversion to the Wheel of Fortune. The difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. If it isn't Estelle and Joshua. This is a rare occasion for you both to showing up so early. This is my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get the show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm. I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I'm feeling that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Cher's picking on me. Don't worry, Cher. Well, Estelle may hate studying and rarely does her homework. Acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp, and I'm sure that she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except for hope for the best. Hold on a second, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your your traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, are you trying to predict your tarot cards? Your face is really intent. Oh, this? Just trying to get a vague reading of what might happen in the near future. Fortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. Couldn't read the cards? That's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we covered in your previous training. This is the minimum level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay. We gotta go through all these. Basically get a rundown of how the world works, because it's got its own little magic system that kind of relies on the orbits. So we'll go ahead and read what that's about. Orbits are mechanical devices which operate using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or process Septium installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention. These devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Okay, now we're going to finally learn about what bracers are. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of your respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracers Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manage the affairs of the racers in each region. The Kingdom of Libral, in which we sit at the western half of the Zumerian continent. Okay, this is what's kind of important. This section of the games are only in this part of the world. There's actually other parts of the world that the other games are set in. Like, I think Crossbell is a section. I'm drawing a blank on the other one. But the other games are focused on those particular sections, which is kind of cool. Like, so you're only playing a small part of an anthology of series. And hey, Nocturnal, how's it going? Libral is proud to be one of the leading manufacturers of Septium on the continent and is known for a high level of technology used to develop orbits. Orbit technology has been a key pillar of support for Libral in protecting its independence as it's contended with its neighboring nations. 10 years ago... Okay, here's the other empire. The Erebonian Empire. They're like into like the northwest. They're like, and they're kind... I know, Legends of Cold Steel, I think it's called? Or Trails of Cold Steel? That focuses on that particular section of the world. 10 years ago, when Libral was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was used the orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Libral enjoys peace. I'm doing great. Did 3 raids in a day on Final Fantasy 14 and made it to Heaven's Ward, and a good break after that. Nice! I'm actually going through with somebody with in Final Fantasy 14 right now, about to get into... We're just wrapping up a Realm Reborn, and I gotta get her to the Crystal Tower myself. Let's see. Since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm gonna speed things up and move on to the more practical portion of it. That's kind of why I haven't been online. Also, I've been obsessed with that game, getting her through the plot, so that's been my life recently. I'm gonna spend some time... Okay. Cher, how is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, it means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm gonna have the both of you run through everything as if it were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is that there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time, you'll go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure you have worked up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes! That's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what it was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Suddenly, you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective then. Let's have it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job that you'll be performing. For that, there is something we need to give to both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two. Get one for each of yourselves. Okay, we gotta go talk to her. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. You've received a Bracer Notebook. Bracer Notebooks serve as an official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you hear or anything you might find and where, These kind of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. This sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure you there were too. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You'll see there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go check the job description posted there. When the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting the jobs' names on the list, you can view their details. And the whole 2.0 feels unnecessary, but feels like part 2, but making you wait longer to do the DLC. Okay, so, just so you know, I think what you're talking about is a poster Realm Reborn. And while you are kind of correct, they actually cut down a lot. I think they cut down like 40 quests from the post of Realm Reborn, because it was... there was a long time between the first, well actually, remake from the first Final Fantasy XIV to what it is today. And, so they got to get some like post-game content before the first expansion came out. Okay, so training retrieval, Charizard is the client, she's gonna pay us 500 Mira. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Rolent and bringing back the contents of a chest. There's are for details. Details on the job confirm that the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded into the Bracer's notebook. The Bracer's notebook can easily be found by clicking on the Books tab on the Items menu, blah blah blah. Yeah, just tell me how to play the game. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions that Bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for Bracers. And all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow. There's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for much more than someone with a half-hearted attitude. Guess you're right. Just to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha. Well, before any motivation sneaks off anywhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will you be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning how to use its services. He's graciously taking his time out of his work schedule to explain things. Make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's what you need to learn how to use the Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbits and synthesize support ports in order to use Orbital Arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The Bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the Guild has a long-standing relationship with these Orbital Factories. Anyway, it's about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here? No problem. Leave it to me. Everything to me. I do enjoy the 3 raids, and at level 60 close to getting Reaper unlocked and Gunbreaker and Dancer. So Samurai's my main. Nice. I don't know. I'm enjoying going to the game with a friend. It makes it a lot more fun. I'm almost there, I promise. Like, I think I'm like 10 quests away to Heavensward. And then obviously I gotta do Crystal Tower because that's now mandatory. So what is it you'd like to know about? Orbits are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects to the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbits. However, the ones we are discussing today are battle orbits, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbit is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, instructions for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of a fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary at any time. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be open at an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of septive too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So what is it you'd like to know? Orbital arts? Simply put, orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbits. In other words, the number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbalites can be an mouthful, they're almost universally referred to as arts. Well, ought to be called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must be first synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbits are set up so that once a particular quartz is installed in the slot, the owner will be able to use... Okay, I'm going to explain all of this anyway. Like, this is going to make no sense to anybody who's seeing this for the first time, but I will explain it. The type of arts which you can use changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with the water elemental value. In reality, orbits are much more complex than what I described, but I think the information suffices for now. So what you'd like to know... Quartz are circuits made of septive. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities, while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz have been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots which can only be certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbit and decide where you'll be installing it ahead of time. Okay. Septive are figments of septum, which are dropped by monsters. They're divided into 7 types: Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, Time, Space, and Mirage. Septims can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at the orbital factor it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbit slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. Okay, so we can just leave because we don't need to talk to him anymore. Looks like Mr. Millers has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, I'll have you both try to use the services here. For that, you're going to need some septive. That amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. I want you to first try making an elemental quartz that will work for each of your particular orbits. In this case, still, any orbit quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at the shop, you'll be able to exchange septive for mirror, but this is training, so you will not be able to use this service. Okay. So we need to come over here. We're going to modify quartz. I think we need to purchase 1 HP and 1 action. Okay. So... Now, I understand this is cheating a lot, because I already have all the slots unlocked. Normally, you'd only have, like, 1 available. And I have all of this stuff right here. So, for Estelle, we're going to try to go with a little bit of attack. I like doing that. I'm going to go with HP up. So, how this works is, see how, like, the gold line there? What we want to do is try to have it to where... Sense not bad. Enemies become aware of your presence. The only thing with that is that it's so good. It's such a good effect. I don't hate that. Everything connected with the gold line are like connected. So we have a chain that's so far where we have 5 blue, 5 red, 3 green, and 2 gold. And that kind of helps us get all of our spells. So now we need to get, what do we want? I can give myself more water. That would give me Clock Up into Rail, which, okay. I mean, if I'm honest, I don't hate EP Cut. Just so I can have some of these high-costing spells for very cheap. And then... give you a little bit of defense. I can make it so we never can receive any encounters. That'd be kind of cool. See enemies from a distance, range. I also like making her a little bit faster. Because, or not faster, she can move further. I don't hate that at all. I'm gonna come over here to Joshua. He's got a couple black quartz spots, so we're gonna get there first. The first thing I'm gonna do, speed up by 30%, which isn't terrible. Cast, Death Blow, action, and my other time one. We're gonna do Cast 2, which will make him cast faster. Let's see here. Also, we want to kind of exploit the longer chain. I do like giving him attack 3 just because, like, I can make him faster, really fast, and, strong. And then, what do I want? I do like it. Chaos Brand is pretty interesting because I think it kind of breaks the game, if I remember right. So we'll go with EP3. So you finished installing your quartz, have you? Since you both recovery and attack are set up, it appears you don't have any more instruction from me about how to do this task. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should be dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your Bracer Notebooks contains information which Quartz allows you to do with charts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and Quartz charts in your Bracer Notebook and find out what works best for you. Let's see, this one guy hated me in the snowy dungeon as I was a tank and he asked me to pull and I was like, I can't take all that one. I mean, I know which one you're talking about. If you're talking about Snowcloak, that can be a little challenging if you don't know what you're doing. But, I don't know, he sounded like a dick anyway, so just ignore what he says. This concludes the training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what we've been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me you forgot about the test again, can you? Did that remind you just this morning? I should mention, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along the lines of the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like, now? I don't know if I'm ready for it. How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me. Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. I'll be rooting for you. I'm gonna remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualifications test will begin here. I expect you both to use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? I gotta go to a hospital appointment tomorrow. Oh, shit. Hopefully everything will be okay. Sheriff? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not gonna be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not long ago, right? Yeah, and I made you jot down what you read in the Bracer notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listed mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ring any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine Adios. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. What you're really saying is you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. You could already feel the nostalgia. All these horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm starting to wonder if we'll ever be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. It's supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you trying to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want to do and you let us loose. Well, if you're so confident about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test. Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, the test will be a search conducted in the Roland sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of the chest which you place somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so no need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. If you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. You have tear bombs and a monster guide. What's this book for? Called the Monster Guide. It's used to record information about the monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out the enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tides of battle, right? Exactly what I'm saying. You've got a really good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. Put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Alright, so we're actually going to start getting into combat. First, a piece of a recovery point set up there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. Orbit charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As a recovery point is approached, an exclamation mark will appear in 2 choices. Okay, yeah, that's basically we can rest and... Not that we need it, but... Monster, at 12 o'clock. I'm not to let take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Monsters cannot be seen from far away, they'll become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of battle will change depending on how the monsters engage. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked from an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Get wrecked.
Good to go.
We're a little overpowered. Just a little bit. Here comes some more. Hitting on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Choose the arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible but require time to cast. EP is consumed when arts are used. Okay, blah 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 blah. I know how to play. So now it wants us to use these, so we can take a look at some of the spells we have. We got some HP recovery, that's always good. Cures all our normal status effects. Earth Guard and Earth Wall sets up a shield around us. Earth Wall basically can make it target the entire party. Pretty good. Temporary wind barrier, forte, Kalaka, blah blah blah. We can do hammer. Okay. What else we got? These are all our damaging ones. So we get some earth damage, water damage, fire. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a basic fire bolt. We're gonna come over here. Lock up, chaos brand. And we made Joshua's skill with, like, cast times, like, greatly reduced, so he can just instantly cast.
Alright! We rule!
Actually, before I go any further, let me check one thing. So, she should have Raj, Sever... Okay, we're good. Cell, are you using crafts this time around? Does crafts have other effects besides dealing out damage that are worth a shot? Roger that. Crafts have range limits, but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing out and receiving damage during battle. So basically, instead of arts, which require magic points, we get another thing which is like our skill points that would build up as we are in combat. So Estelle's got morale, which gives allies more strength. Taunt, which makes people focus on her. Hurricane, which hits like enemies in a set area. Comet. Heartbreak is really good because what Heartbreak does is it can, let's say an enemy's turn is coming up, it can interrupt the attack and push it down further on the turn order. Oh wait, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe that could do, what it can do... The P does something. I think it either does that or it stops, like, if someone was casting a spell at us, it'll interrupt it. So he's got a 2-hit attack, Flicker, which, that one delays attack turns, Taunt, Cloak and Dagger, chance to insta-kill, and then AT delay. So I think I'm just going to do a dual strike, show it off.
That's that then. Let's move out.
I mean, none of this really matters, because it's like, I don't foresee us having any sort of trouble. Chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. Door is rusted and appears to be locked. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. Shows you an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-craft or S-break should do the trick for just about any enemy. Catches, our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. These devastating attacks can be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-breaks are actions that allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. S-crafts are unleashed as S-breaks can be changed by using tactical data. This is what I was checking earlier. So essentially, what can happen is we can go ahead and say we attack him. We kill one off the bat, right? And then we'll come over here and attack another one. And before the other one gets a turn to attack, we can hit 1 on our keyboard and basically get another free turn. We get a nice little flashy animation too, so that's kind of cool. So that's a treasure chest we're after, huh? Made it this far, the rest is gonna be a piece of cake. Seems like we got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to the battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether they are allotted to an ally or foe. Using S-breaks to ignore the battle order makes it easier to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus. Okay, so like, if we look over by the left-hand side, we can notice that there's different symbols that are next to different portraits, right? So what we can do, because I believe the crystal is, it'll drop extra of the septic stuff on the ground. That we don't really need, so it doesn't really matter. What I'm gonna do is we'll attack the one in the back. And as you kill enemies, you kind of you can affect the turn order and get it so that you don't get those bonus. Oh shit! I picked the wrong target on that one. But you know what? Screw you! We're gonna kill you all anyway.
That's that then. Let's move it.
By the way, Joshua is a BAM. There's no denying it. He's just an amazing character. You found small box ×2. That's weird. There's a couple boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one, but 2 is kind of interesting too. I wonder what's inside. Remember ourselves. Our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes will fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. It has nothing to do with our mission. That's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. I can get away with a teensy-weensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yes. Yep. Opening one of these boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. As long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua. I just can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Cheryl when we get back? For now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright. By looking inside the chest, again, you flunk. Just kidding. So the nice thing is, once enemies are killed, they kind of stay dead until we re-enter the area. So we don't even have to worry about running into anything else at this point. But just something to keep in mind for later when we're exploring sections. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. And go for small boxes ×2. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. It was a close one. Figured she'd try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You successfully passed your qualifications test. You really think like something that simple would be a problem for us to do? So Shara, what's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know, and you to find out after your training is finished. Enough chit-chat for now. Let's get back to work. You two have some stings left to do. Seriously? Didn't you say we passed the test? You still have to learn how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but there's no time to shirk your duties. Get back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Well, no sense of giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed. It seems we're within reaching the distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. When you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation is the step you took to get there, are all part of your job as a bracer. Report the results to the front desk at each guild branch, and as you already know by now, Aina is in charge here at the Roulette branch. In addition, this is where you'll get paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that you're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Okay, blah 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 blah. We know. I know. So we go over here. We talk. We do a report. So based on this isn't going to be a big thing now, but later on in the game, based on how we accomplish certain tasks in the game, we will actually get bonuses, or sometimes we get docked points. So the main goal that we are going to try to do is I'm going to do my best to get all the bonuses. I can't promise anything because some of them are pretty difficult. Good job, you two. Seems like you're able to complete your objectives without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. Exactly what I just said. When you report the results of your work to a guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you'll receive. You'll also accumulate points which are known as bracer points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you'll advance in rank as a bracer and be rewarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The ranks of a junior bracer start at 9 and go all the way to up to 1. Please set your sights on becoming first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebooks. Please have a look sometime later on. All that's left now is to finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Aina. Sorry about putting so much work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it. Training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone. In any case, to the bone? And knowing Shara don't involve the whip. Say it again. Good work, you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you'll be learning from real-world experience. Well then, Shara holds out 2 small boxes. These the boxes the ones... In answer to your question, yes. These are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seemed awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying it's okay that if we opened them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet! Alright, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open the boxes. Received Junior Bracer Emblem. This crest is... So does that mean we're... Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed to Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. You hear that, Joshua? You've become members of the Bracer Guild. I'm a bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world! We did it! I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during your busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shara. Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of the many Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago, when your father, Cassius, trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on so you can both help with those new recruits who will come after yourselves. In time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers just like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? Charizard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who is always outdoing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to cut this short. Not because, I'm in a hurry or anything, but I have not streamed in so long or talked as long as I have since the last time I played this game. My throat is starting to hurt. So I might have to call that there and pick this up next time. But maybe this will be enough of like a short little video that might actually catch some extra eyes on it. If they do, I appreciate the views. I will see you all next time and hope you have a fantastic day.